Hey, good morning, Facebook. Happy Tuesday morning to you. Hopefully, your Monday went smooth. Tanner and I had a wonderful day out at Bridger Coal Mine. We were able to remove an old backflow preventer 4-inch and replace a new one. It was a very busy and industrial day. We got done quite earlier than we expected, thanks to the equipment that those gentlemen had there, and was able to help us to get it out a little quicker. So, here's a question for you. Can technology help me understand what's going wrong with my drain? Stay tuned. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Hopefully everybody's Monday went well. Hopefully it went smooth. Remember, we talked about yesterday how to prevent freezing taking place in our homes, to prevent it from flooding. Make sure you're taking your hoses off. We're supposed to be getting snow in the higher mountains this week. So the temperatures have really dropped here in Wyoming. We need to make sure that we're taking our hoses off. We need to make sure that our sprinkler lines are blowing out. We need to make sure that we're taking all precautions to make sure that our water lines aren't freezing and having issues when this temperature does fall. So make sure you're doing that. I'm checking every night to make sure my wife makes sure that the hose is off. I don't want any issues in my house, and that's the best way to prevent it, is to just make sure that it's taken care of. So the question is today, can technology help me understand what's going on in my drain? So what do I mean by that? Well, in the last 20 years, technology has really progressed in plumbing. We have so many different things out there now that we didn't have several years ago, and it's really made life a lot better for us as plumbers. And it's made it a lot better for you as a homeowner and a consumer. And the reason is because of this technology, we're able to understand what's going on a lot better, both in the home, with the plumbing systems, and with the drains out in the street. So let's go ahead and flip you around. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the technology that we have, some of the technology that's come out that I'm learning about, and some of the technology I'm looking into getting that is out there to help us in all these situations. So let's flip her around. Right here I have a mini camera. Alright, so this is just a small handheld camera. It's battery operated. I'll turn it on so you can kind of see what it looks like with the screen. Where does this help us out? Now, I've used this in several different situations. I just used this last week. We had a customer call us, said that she had water dripping from her heating ducts, could not figure out where it was coming from. We went downstairs. It was a finished ceiling. We drilled a small hole big enough to fit that camera head in there. Was able to put that camera head up in there and see that it was actually leaking from the upstairs right by the toilet. So we went upstairs and investigated, and sure enough, we found a leak on the toilet. So this was able to help us to locate the problem without tearing a bunch of sheetrock out. We just had to drill a small hole that they can patch later on, and was able to locate it. This also is small enough and water resistant to where we can put it down a smaller drain and see what's going on. Some other technology that we have as plumbers is this system right here. This is our drain camera inspection system, and it comes along with this feature right here. Actually, I forgot to get that out, so that's good that I did it. But it comes with this little feature right here, and it's a really cool system. This is a locator. So we have a locator and we have our camera set up, and these two things work together. Basically what happens, and I'll give you a small demonstration here, is I have a piece of pipe, and say we have a problem inside the pipe, and we go and snake this pipe, and we have root penetration, and we need to locate where that penetration's at so we have an idea of how far we need to go, or we need to know exactly how bad that root penetration is into the main, to whether this individual needs to have either a trenchless system taken care of or a new dig replacement of pipe. This has actually saved our bacon a couple times. We had a call where a plumber had been out there, had snaked the line and could not get it going, and we went out there and we found inside the drain line, because of this inspection camera, that the plumber that had been there before had broke a cable head down inside the line. And with this camera and our snake, our cable, which I'll actually go into that tomorrow, actually Thursday I'll go into that one. a little bit. We was able to retrieve that head out of there, clear out the clog, continue down the line, make sure that the line was good. We actually located a belly in the system and was able to tell the person where the belly was at. We was able to, in that situation, it was inside a shop. We had a jackhammer up the concrete and replace the pipe and fix that belly to where they didn't have that problem anymore. So this camera can save you a lot of money. They are a little expensive upfront costs. Our inspection cameras can be pretty pricey, but they can locate problems. Case in point, this last week, Tanner had a call to a bar. The toilet was bubbling when they flushed it. He ran the camera down the drain. There was no obstruction in the drain. He took this camera up on the roof and was able to run it down through the vent and found that the vent was clogged up. And so because the vent was clogged up, it wasn't breathing right, and it was gurgling up the toilet trying to get air for flow. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a demonstration how this works. Basically, we have our monitor here. I have a little DVR right here that we can record on a SD card. We also take images with this, and we can download this to individuals using our iPads. The technology is quite amazing. With having it built in, this right here is a sonde, and basically what that does is if I flip a switch, I can turn that sonde on. It sends a radio frequency out, and using that tool right there, I can actually locate very accurately where that head is. Obviously, you know, I'm 6 inches to 8 inches behind that head, so wherever I locate with that, I know 6 inches in front of that is where the problem lies. But I'm going to go ahead and give you a demonstration here. I'm going to put my glove on real quick because this is a sewer snake. We've had it down some nasty things. I'm going to put my glove on. And I'm going to show you kind of, I want to put the camera here so I can see. I'm going to see if this is going to work. I'm not sure if it will. It's just me here, so I'm apologizing. There we go. I'm going to try to see if you guys can watch this. I'm going to give you a demonstration of what it looks like down the pipe from our camera view. So we're going to go ahead and push it down. I'm pushing it all the way down. Now this is just a piece of pipe, a PVC pipe, but if there was an obstruction inside there, we'd be able to see it. As you can see, it stays pretty centered. I have a head, which when I pull it out, I'll show you. But you can see here, I just put some dirt inside of a bell so you could see the difference in contrast. So there you see, we're almost to the end on that bell, but that is dirt. And you can see it just piled up inside there. So if this was inside your drain, we'd know that, okay, we have a problem there. We need to locate where that problem's at. I would turn on my locate system, and through that sonde, it would pick up a radio frequency on that locator, and we'd be able to actually see where that problem's at and locate it. So this technology has really helped us as far as plumbers. Let's go ahead and pick it up before it falls off because I know it's going to come. But this technology has really helped us as far as plumbers. Let's flip you around here to where we can actually help you as a consumer know where your problem's at and what the problem is. A lot of times with root damage, we recommend people that we run this camera down there. If we pull roots out, we'll say, you know, we really need to run the camera down there and see where this problem's at, and we need to get a location on it. So if there is massive amount of damage, we need to know about it right away so we can give you further education on what you need to do with your pipes. Further educating you will help you in making a wise decision on what to do with your drains. And at that point, we usually have some new technology that has come out that we're working on getting that can help you. We'll locate it right now here in the Rock Springs area. It's a dig. You're digging your drains and you're fixing it. I am in the process right now of working on getting a pipeline reliner. I guess you could call it. And basically what that is it's a trenchless system. And what it does is it will go down inside your line, and it comes with some special machines. And what we do is we see where the problems are at. If it's root damage or if it's any type of damage just to the cast iron, we immediately start to take a new specialty type of machine called a Pacote machine. We will run it down in there. It will descale the cast iron. It will clean it with chain knockers if it's roots. And I can vary the speed to where I don't have to go super fast. I can just go fast enough to clean the pipe and smooth it out. Then there's another system I'm looking into getting right now. And this is going live all over in California and Utah and places with bigger cities. There's companies that are actually specializing in this now. And basically what they do is they take a liner and they epoxy it to the pipe that's existing. It seals any cracks, it seals any holes, it seals any joints that have damage from roots, and it stops it and prevents it from coming into the drain line, and basically creates it to be a new pipe, like inside of a PVC pipe, and it lines it. I'm looking at a system that actually sprays it in, kind of like a paint system. It would spray it in the whole length of the pipe and recoat the pipe to basically turn it into a PVC. It's got a 50-year lifetime expectancy on it, so that's pretty good considering that you wouldn't have to tear up your yard or your sprinkler system or concrete or anything like that. You can just go right in from point of use, which would be a clean out in the house, or that's what we'd do, is we'd have to go into the home and find where it goes out to the street and actually tear into it right there in the home. It'd be a small little spot we'd put in a clean out while we were there, so if there was an issue down the road that somebody could clean it out, we can run this epoxy machine down in there and actually epoxy the lines. There is a new system I've just learned about this last week, that if your pipe has collapsed, that it actually will come in and you can actually fix the collapsed pipe. It's a robotic arm that goes in and actually will dig a hole where your pipe was at and connect into your main on the other side where it's at, and it hasn't collapsed, and it will actually build a little section of pipe right there for you. It's a robotic arm, and it's all intrusive. There's no digging. So this is some technology that's come up in the last 20 years or so that has really taken a boom. All these technologies obviously have to have approval and ratings from the code department and the city regulations. I have talked to the city of Rock Springs, and they said as long as it is code compliant, it's okay. So I have been working on getting this information so I could get it to use to where I can benefit my customer without having to ever dig. We can just coat their pipe and clean it and take care of the root issues forever. There's been a lot of times that I would find roots that have intrusively come into the pipe, and I have to tell people that we have to dig it. And so they end up tearing up their entire yard, and then they have to regrass and make their yard nice again. And this would prevent that. It would really save the customer a lot of time, a lot of money, and they wouldn't have to tear up their yard that they spent all that time and effort into making nice. So with technology in today's world, we are getting a lot better. The locator system has been great for us. Apologize for the shaking. My arm's getting a little tired. The locate system has been wonderful for us.